Okay, we have a returning guest, Toastmaster Rishikesh. How are you doing?
I am good. I am doing good, sir. I
Nice to
saw
have.
the meeting invite in the group chat, so thought of joining this meeting.
Great, great, great. Nice to have you.
Yes, sir.
All right. I
Yes.
think we'll start. Started it on. Huh.
You start. They were writing. I can be the it's a continuity. 1-0-1-0. More than so
Yes. Yes.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening and welcome to the weekly meetings of Karachi Toastmasters Club. Today, our meeting number is 1. My time or the participants who are present, who has joined us in Beach Luxury Hotels are requested to put their mobiles on silent mode. If they have to attend the calls, then you can see the door and you know how to open it. Okay, with that, it's time to welcome the president of Karachi Toastmasters Club. She is an iron lady and she is a very dedicated and a passionate Toastmaster. She served Sergeant at Arms, Treasurer, and Secretary of this club. Now she's pursuing as a president. So put your hands together, give her a big round of applause. Please welcome Toastmaster Hibari Khan.
Good evening and assalamu alaikum everyone. Do we have any online guests?
Yes, we do. And we also have an in-person guest.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Toastmasters is a public speaking platform where people from all walks of life come together to improve the public speaking and leadership skills. It was formed in 1924 by Real Chief Medley in Englewood, Colorado. And it's our 1010th meeting today. And just introduction. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, I think we should first call our in-person guest, Ali, right? Please come and introduce yourself.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Ali Fayyaz. I am currently present as a guest in Toastmasters Club. I was interested to enhance my communication skills. So somebody told me, suggested me about this club, and I am enjoying this. I am taking into this, and I have done computer engineering and then masters in computer science. I am currently working as in software development industry. Thank you.
Okay, so and what about the online guests?
Yes, we have 3 online guests. We have Toastmaster Rishikesh,
Rusa covered is also a guest.
No, he's not.
So can we have the introduction?
Yeah.
Good evening, all. Thank you for this inviting to this meeting. I saw this meeting invite in the KTC guest group and thought of joining this meeting. Last year we had a joint meeting with KTC from Pimpri Toastmasters Club. Since then, I am part of KTC guest group, and I am regularly getting the updates of your KTC meeting and looking forward to attend this meeting and enjoy the meeting. Over to Madam President.
Okay, and any other guests?
Yes, we have Toastmaster Herman.
So can you introduce yourself?
Yeah,
Hello.
hello.
Hello, this is Herman. I recently joined Karachi Toastmasters Club. And for joining this club, I actually wanted to brush up my presentation skills and public speaking, of course. So looking forward to working with you all.
Okay,
That's it.
and
Yeah.
that's about it, I guess. Okay, so now for the business segment, do we have any?
Yes, we actually do. So, and everyone who's coming on the stage, including myself, the messages will be louder because online participants have a hard time hearing us.
Okay.
So, yeah, so, and I need to exercise that too. So, as far as the last meeting is concerned, I don't know what happened because I wasn't present in the full meeting. Can you share the results, Toastmaster Imran?
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Best pick four goes to Toastmaster Wyatt, and he was doing table topic master,
Right.
and he was the debutant. Best prepared speech goes to,
DTM Surplus
yes, DTM Surplus with you.
and critics also,
Critics also goes to, went to DTM Surplus.
table topics.
Table topic. Vishant, yes, Toastmaster Vishant.
Right.
Speech, best evaluator. DTM Surplus.
No, I recall it was, all right, we will see the record, and of course, we have to issue the certificate. Apologies to my side, they've been delayed by a week. So that was about the last meeting, plus the executive committee took certain decisions in its last meeting, right? And as per the rules, all the decisions taken in the executive committee need to be placed before the club body. So I'm placing the decisions. I'll also be sharing them in the WhatsApp group. And according to parliamentary procedures, if someone has any objections to any of these, they can speak up. Otherwise, they will be considered approved. If someone has an objection, then we will have to enlist two people. One will speak for the resolution and one will speak against, and then there will be a vote. All right. So the first resolution was that during September, the club will focus on individually following renewing members. And after September, we will focus on bringing in members that did not renew during this cycle and previous cycle. They have been recent members, but not current members. So during September, we'll focus on current members. Secondly, first Sunday of October was decided as date for table topics and evaluation contests. First Sunday of October. And these will be hybrid contests. That means that anyone in person, they will happen in person right here, but anyone can participate whether in person or online. And yeah, the most important resolution. All members are strongly urged to respond to requests from VPE and other club officers. Silence is not acceptable. Yes or no is preferable. Thank you so much, Madam President.
Okay, now it's time to introduce the Toastmaster of the day. He's a recent Toastmaster and he's a pretty good speaker, and we know him as Toastmaster Muzammil. Over to you.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all and to host the meeting of Karachi Toastmasters Club. The theme for today's meeting, as you guys have seen, is grief, the perseverance of love. Fellow Toastmasters, most of us have been through the ordeal of losing someone very close to us in our life. And no doubt, it is among the most painful experiences one can have in their lives. But there is still a beauty concealed in this very unpleasant, painful, and traumatic experience. Do you know what that beauty is? It is the beauty of love. Now, first of all, what love is? I mean, what actually love is? I have asked this question to myself many times, and I'm sure you guys have asked yourselves too. And thanks to our movies and dramas, which have taught us that love is when someone attracts you and you are having butterflies in your stomach, that, oh my God, how beautiful he or she is. And songs start playing in your mind whenever you see them.
Which song?
Doesn't happen every day. So is this really love, which is portrayed by media, movies, dramas, the so-called first sight love? What I believe which teaches us about what real love is it is the very same painful experience of losing someone which teaches us about real love. Now, for example, take a moment right now and say to your mind that whoever your loved one is, be it your mother, father, wife, or anyone else, just say to your mind that they are no more in your life. The moment you do that, this will absolutely not be admissible to your mind or to your heart, because it's unbearable to even imagine living without them. So, isn't it its beauty? We know in our life that if you want to gain something, you have to sacrifice something. So it is the very same traumatic experience which teaches you and which makes you realize what actual love is. So when we lose in actual our loved one, that is when we realize the true intensity of our love for them. But people come and go and the life goes on. What remains behind is grief. So how do we survive along with grief, sorrow, and sadness inside us? How do we tackle that? I believe the most effective way to do that is to follow and engage in some good acts which were liked and done by our loved one. For example, everyone knows about Abdul Sattar Idi. What a man he was. He devoted his whole life for the sake of humanity, for the sake of betterment of poor and underprivileged people of our society. But He's no more with us right now. And neither is her wife. But his mission is still continued and is being continued by his very son, Faisal E.T. So what we learn is that we should follow those acts, because when we do those acts, it makes us feel that we are doing this on behalf of them. And this will surely make them happy. And this brings inside us contentment and inner peace. So if you think you are in so-called love with someone, just ask yourself when you go home that, is it even, imagine a life without them. Just ask, right? Toastmaster man? Okay, so moving ahead, I would now like to explain the structure of our meeting. Our meeting is usually divided into 3 sessions. The first session is of prepared speeches. In this session, speakers will be delivering their speeches from their respective pathways and projects. Prepared speeches with their very specific details in every project helps us to emerge and become better public speaker in our lives. This session will be followed by table topic session. In this session, contradicting to the first session in which the speakers are prepared, in this session, speakers will not be prepared at all, because they will be thrown some unknowing questions by the table topic master. So they will have to practice and speak on their feet. So the benefit of this session is it helps us to think quickly and effectively speak when we are asked questions in extempore situations. The next and final session will be of the evaluation. And in this session, every prepared speaker will be evaluated by their respective evaluator. And the whole meeting will be evaluated by the general evaluator. So moving ahead, I would now like to introduce some of the facilitators in our meeting, because it is better and it is more preferable to assign specific tasks to some members, because it helps us to conduct meeting in a good way. So as Toastmaster of the day, it is my duty to introduce our facilitators. First of all, our facilitator is grammarian, and she is Toastmaster Shamam Khan.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian for today, I will be noting the good and not so good usage of language. I will also be taking notes of notable language, some vocabulary, some phrase, and things like that. At the end of the session, when General Evaluator asks for my report, I will be presenting my report. Toastmaster of the evening, I'm also the word counter. Can I just add that? Okay, fine. And this word of the day is different and separate from being a grammarian. So the word of the day today is vivacious. This means I have written it in the chat box also for your use. This means lively in temper, conduct, or spirit, energetic and enthusiastic. Vivacious, you can use as an adverb also, vivaciously, and vivaciousness comes with vivacious all the time. So at the end of the session, again, I will be presenting my report. I will be counting how many times the word is being used and by whom. So please use that word. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamam Khan, for your calm explanation of your role. Our next facilitator is our timer, Toastmaster Shakil. Please come.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Today my role is to check the timings. Normally the speech timing slots are 5 to 7 minutes. After 5 minutes, I will show green bulb, and after 6 minutes, I will show yellow, and similarly after 7 minutes, I will show red bulb. And if you cross 7 minutes and 30 seconds, then you will be disqualified. And then for a table topic session, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, I will show green light, and similarly after 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will show yellow light. And
1 minute and 30.
after 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will show yellow light, and after 2 minutes, I will show green light. So red light. Sorry. So 1 minute, 130, and 2.
Yes.
And the third one,
2:30.
evaluation
2:30 and 3.
So okay, for evaluations, after 2 minutes, I will show green light, and after 2.5 to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will show yellow light, and after 3 minutes, I will show red light. And after 3 minutes and 30 seconds, you will be disqualified.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shakil, for your brief explanation of your role. Our next facilitator is our counter, Toastmaster Mufaddal Murtaza. Please help me.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and a very good evening to all of you. In my today's meeting, the role which I have been assigned is working as an accounter. The accounter role is to count the so if and all the filler words which you will be speaking during your speech, and at the end of the meeting, I will be giving my report. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mufaddal Murtaza. Okay, so our next facilitator is our very president, Toastmaster Hiba Khan. She will also be joke master for today's meeting. So please help me invite her to please come on stage. And
Will be called vote counting. All important vote counting.
after this, or should I?
Oh, you can call after this. No worry.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, why should you always knock on a refrigerator door before opening it? Why should you always knock on a refrigerator door before opening it?
To break the ice.
No, in
If it
case-
has something inside,
Sorry, what? Can you come again?
yeah, if it has something inside,
In case there is a salad dressing, what do you call two monkeys who share an Amazon account? What do you call two monkeys who share an Amazon account?
Jeff Bezos.
Primates.
Oh,
Primates, sorry. Want to hear a construction joke? Oh, never mind. I'm still working on it. Where do baby goats go when their parents are at work? Where do baby goats go when their parents are at work? Daycare.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hiba. Okay, so it's time to finally invite our vote counter to please come on the stage.
No need to tell who he is.
Yeah, everyone knows by now. Fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests, my role as a board counter would be to ask for votes after each and every part of the meeting, after the prepared speeches, after the table topics, after the evaluation, and right at the end, after the big four are done, I actually can't vote because so don't actually accuse me of rigging, but I can vote if it's a tie. So with that, is back to the smart today.
Thank you, Vivian God. Okay, so it's time to finally move on and to begin our first session of the meeting of prepared speeches. To begin our session, our first speaker for today's meeting will be
Toastmaster Rabia is not available right now. He has power outage. So Toastmaster Ramzan. I just texted you his project details.
Okay, so our first speaker is Toastmaster Ramzan.
Before you begin, you haven't called the listener.
You just missed
You are the listener and you missed.
You were so enrolled in.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can I come again?
Yeah,
Let the team know.
but you'll come on the stage anyway to introduce the project, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
You are the president.
yes.
Okay, so Team Tala is indirectly saying no.
not at all. No, not at all.
Okay, so let me. Who is the evaluator?
Toastmaster Hiba is very well.
Okay, so Toastmaster Ramzan will be evaluated by Toastmaster Hibaris Khan. So I invite Toastmaster Hibaris and we also evaluating.
Okay, everyone. And GM Ramzan Printwala is doing dynamic leadership level 1. It's writing a speech with purpose, and the title of the speech is "Why Should I Care?" The duration of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes, and there's only one objective of the speech. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Over to Ramzan.
Thank you, Madam President. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. So, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh no, please don't do this to me. I'm here to protect you. Please don't do this to me. No, I don't care. I just want to enjoy my bonfire. I'm your ozone layer. I'm here to protect you from UV layers. I don't care. Please don't throw garbage on me. Please don't throw garbage on me. Please don't do this to me. Please dispose it off properly. I don't care. I'm just too lazy to do it. Please don't throw plastic. It's our homeland. You're disturbing our homeland. We can't live with tons of plastic in our homeland sea. I don't care. I don't have any cheap alternatives. So I don't care about your lives. And so my fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, isn't it the case with us every day that we are so ignorant about our very own mother nature, and we throw plastic in the sea, we are damaging our ozone layer, and we don't care at all, and then it's instance like this, like flood in Pakistan, which floods in Pakistan and flood all over the world, which hits us. And then we say, oh, we have damaged our mother nature and now it's taking revenge from us. So mother nature sometimes have to speak for herself, and sometimes it has to take the revenge. And it's only then we realize, and that again too for a very, very small period of time, till the time that flood or that natural disaster exists. And as soon as it's gone, we are again busy in our life being ignorant, throwing garbage and lighting fire and damaging ozone layer. So my fellow friends, the best help we could do to Latif Pulejo living in Sangar, to Sai Bhatt living in Jekpabad, or to Shakur living in Bahawal Nagar, is not just to send them financial support or to build homes for them. That's again that's again a one-off help. The best help we could do to them is to stop polluting our mother nature, to stop hurting our mother nature. That's the thing which we need to focus on, and that's the thing which we should be more careful of, regardless of if we're not having any alternate, cheaper alternates for our packaging. So we need to develop something out, because this thing's not gonna work, because only Pakistan has 700 glaciers, and with 1.5 degree increase in temperature, just imagine what would happen in next few years. And we alone, we have seen in this year, we have seen fires in jungles in Amazon, in Australia, and on the other hand, on the part of the world in Pakistan, we are seeing these huge floods. And then if we even in Karachi, if we see the temperature, so we've never seen such a harsh temperature in September. One day it's very hot in terms of temperature, and other day it's raining crazy. So and in the end, we always say we don't care, because everybody is so busy in their own life that they're ignorant about this fact that every day with very small incidents, like a small bonfire or like a small wrapper of chips we consume, and then we throw away it into the bin, and we are not ignorant about how it's being disposed of, and we are not even recycling the stuff. We're again and again using polythene bags. So very small and little steps can not only help our mother nature, but help our fellows out there who are being affected by nature. So by just using a simple cloth bag, and that's again a reusable thing, or by using a metal bottle instead of plastic one-time use bottle, and other small, many tiny steps like this would always be very helpful in terms of nature, and would always help us to make our motherland, our homeland, very sustainable and a livable place. Thank you.
No, from here. It's perfect.
Okay. Okay, so it's time to invite our next speaker, and she is Toastmaster Zara Ibrahim. She is doing his pathway in focus engaging humor, and level 3, project 2.
Um,
Our evaluator is Toastmaster. Oh, sorry. She is doing level 2, project 3, and her evaluator is Toastmaster Rusa Kawal. Toastmaster Rusa, please.
Mr.
read out
TMD,
the objectives.
actually, I'm on number 4 in the speaking order. So I have to set my camera in that position, and I have to. Do we have another speakers? Like, I thought I was
All right.
number 4.
All right, I think we can switch things up a bit, as we always do.
I can come after another speaker. Thank you so much.
I'm next. All right.
Toastmaster Kareem will.
Yeah, they will join. They both, Kareem and Latif, both requested to be last, which was not possible, by the way. So I think it will have to be myself. So yeah, you can invite my evaluator. All right. No worries. No worries. What we'll do is we can ask Toastmaster Imran Rana to evaluate. And let me share the project details with him. And next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's not possible for every speaker to be the last speaker. So keep that in mind.
Where it's possible to come last for votes.
Yeah.
Okay, so fellow Toastmasters, please allow me to invite our next speaker, and he is TTM Talha bin Amir. TTM Talha, whenever he speaks, he wins the hearts, and whenever he is about to come and deliver a speech, the whole audience already pays attention to his speech, because we know that whatever he will be doing will be worth listening. So his evaluator is Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, the most daring job to evaluate DTM Talha's speech. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today Toastmaster Talha will going to deliver his project from Effective Coaching Pathway. He is on level 4, project 1, improvement through positive coaching. The speech title is The Fast Track to Glory, and speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes. Let me read out the objectives. For that, yes. The purpose statement of this project is for the member to develop and apply skills for coaching a fellow member or a person outside of Toastmasters who can benefit from his or her expertise. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspects of his or her coaching experience. So please give him a big round of applause. TTM Talha, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much.
I'll be the time.
Yeah.
No, here's the timer.
Yeah. No longer.
No.
So am I visible and audible to the online audience? Can anyone say?
Yes, you are.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, what is coaching? We've all been coaches and we've all been coached. Sometimes we've been coached without us even realizing. We're coached all the time by everyone who tells us how something should be done. It's up to us to follow their advice. If we follow their advice, fine. If we don't follow their advice, also fine. We learn what not to do. In the immortal words of our colleague Toastmaster Muhammad Asghar, nobody is completely useless. Some people can be used as bad examples. So everything everyone we meet, everything we encounter or experience becomes our coach. In my experience as Toastmaster, I realized that there are two ways of giving back. The first one is the obvious one, mentoring another member. And most of you sitting here, most of the people online, they have been mentors. They have mentored someone. They have been mentored and they've paid it forward by mentoring someone. But what about coaching? Coaching is a little bit hard to define. We don't really know when does it start and when does it end. As I said earlier, sometimes we are coached and yet we don't know it. Only when we don't act on the advice and suffer that we learn that, all right, that person was right. In my 6-year journey as Toastmasters, I've received an absolutely stupendous amount of coaching. And I'm still being coached today. My evaluator will coach me when he will evaluate the speech. The grammarian and word master will very vivaciously point out my grammatical errors and the fact that I did not use the word of the day. What is this? This is coaching. Coaching is something temporary. Coaching is aimed at enhancing a specific skill. In order to get coached, you first need to identify what you need from your coach. I realized that over the past 6 years, there was a whole lot of people that have been coached by me. Not mentored, but coached. If you see these pictures, there is a common thread between all of them. The first one is they're all distinguished Toastmasters. And the second thread is whether they want it or not, whether they like it or not, I am in their lives. And I am one of the reasons they became distinguished Toastmasters. And I'm not bragging. This is by no means bragging. Achieving a distinguished Toastmaster is by no means a one-person job. A whole group of people gets together in order for one person to become a distinguished Toastmaster. First one, DTM Zaid Kalia. Of course, he is a world-famous speaker, district leader, more experienced Toastmaster than me. But I coached him in one thing. He used to deliver one speech every month. He was a perfectionist when I met him. And I told him that at this pace, you will only take 5 years to complete your DTM. And then he said, what should I do? I can't compromise on the quality of my speeches. I told him, whether you spend 3 days or 3 weeks, you suck either. No, I'm just kidding. I told him that you being a perfectionist is actually hindering you, because if you give too much gap between two speeches in Toastmasters, you start to forget the skills that you learn. So you have to make a compromise between perfectionism and speed. And thankfully, DTM Zaid took up the advice and became a DTM the very next year. Next, we had DTM Dr. Raneet. He was lagging behind and crawling along the journey towards DTM. He had the skills and the presence and the stature to have achieved DTM ages ago. But he was, pardon me for saying so, just lazy, until the Toastmasters clamped down a deadline that you have to submit all your DTM-related education awards by a certain day. And then he sprang into action. I was luckily the VP Education at that time. And all I did was give him speech ideas and speech slots. So yeah, that makes me a coach. Then we had DTM Shahrukh Shahnawaz, myself and Toastmaster Imran, DTM Rashid Dastagir, and DTM Mohammad Farooq. They had very different skill sets, but Together, we coached them and we convinced them to do more speeches and most importantly, gave them speech ideas. We have DTM Miriam Rizvi, who started her journey from District 105 and for some strange reason had not achieved DTM by now until she co-sponsored a club with me. DTM Sarfaraz Nazim joined Karachi Toastmasters Club and was so enamored with all of us that he completed 2 DTMs here within the same year. DTM Ali Al-Sharanjam and DTM Sachwe, 2 documented and proud stammerers, stepped into this club barely 2 years ago. And today, not only they're DTM, but they are club and district leaders. Toastmaster Amir Bilal, who I met in Al Karam Textile Mills, he was reluctant to join Toastmasters, but he knew what he had to do. And within 2 years, he was a Toastmaster. And finally, Toastmaster Iram Vyas, my colleague at Dow's IBHM Toastmasters Club. She had been a Toastmaster before. No one has ever seen her face, but no one has ever failed to be inspired whenever she spoke. And she also co-sponsored and co-founded Dow's IBHM Club with me. So fellow Toastmasters and guests, if you speak of positive results through coaching, I believe that 12 DTMs in 6 years is perhaps quite a positive result. Over to you, Toastmaster of this.
We'll be back. So, okay, so let me move to the next speaker.
All right. We have Toastmaster Karim Meghani with us. And Toastmaster Karim Meghani, bad news, your evaluation slot has been taken by Toastmaster Imran Rana. But good news is your speaking slot is intact. So, but your evaluator is not yet here. So,
You can get 2 DTMs out.
yeah. Okay. I think you can. So we hereby designate DTM Saad as your evaluator.
What's the project?
The project is engaging humor, level 3, project 2, focus on the positive. Let me share with you the evaluation sheet. Yes, you should get it now. Everyone, please speak up.
Speak up or speed up?
Both.
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests, Toastmaster, I think you have sent me the wrong sheet because it actually it's actually
sorry,
your
you're right.
your
You're right. It's mine.
evaluation.
Just give me a second. Yeah. Kareem is always meticulously sharing the evaluation sheet. I forwarded the wrong one. Now you should get the right one.
Focus on the positive.
Yeah.
Fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests, Toastmaster Karim Meghani will be delivering a project focused on the positive. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice being aware of his thoughts and feeling as well as the impact of his responses on others. The time length is either 2 to 3 minutes or 5 to 7 minutes as per the need of the speaker, and yeah, that's about it. Over to you, Toastmaster Karim Meghani.
Yeah.
All is okay?
Yeah.
Focus on positive.
Sorry, Toastmaster, sorry. What is your total duration? Is it split between two or?
5 to 7 minutes, sir.
All right, 5 to 7. Fine. Thank you and apologies for that. You can continue.
No, that's okay. Focus on positive. When we hear this particular word, it's a mind change. Yes? Everybody in this room must be thinking that what negative can come to one person and he can feel, I want to be positive. Over the last 2-3 years on the COVID time, we all went through so much negativity in our lives. Yes or no? Yes? We all gone through some negativity. So there was also a negativity in my mind that I was little, not negativity, but I start feel bored what I am doing. And that was a feeling came somewhere in 2021. Maybe the routine, maybe the COVID routines, maybe sitting at home, sometimes when the offices are closed. So there was a lot of reflection time. And at that time, one thing helped me, it was Toastmasters, because I joined the family. Every Wednesday, I was delivering speeches. Fantastic. But still, there is always in my heart, there was a gap. Toastmaster of the day, dear Toastmasters and guests, what I'm sharing today is maybe you will feel that why I'm sharing this with you. This may feel that, I'm incompetent. I'm warning you. It may feel that I have some anxiety issues, but I felt this is the first time in my life in 2021, I felt that yes, there are some issues and I need to address it. So the story starts that I'm not happy what I'm doing, the routine itself. What should I do? So let's explore myself in the world. I am, mashallah, so much experience, 20 years working in different countries. I'm in a nice job right now. Let me apply. Let me apply to some places, different part of the world, and see that, how people will offer me a wonderful package or a wonderful opportunity to work with them. And I applied 3 places. 3 places, 3 different countries. Now listen to the story, what happened. First, I applied for Portugal. There was a community organization and I was sure, looking at my personality, they will accept me by hands. And I just applied for a senior position in this community organization. I had one interview, wonderful. Second interview with the leadership. You know what happened? 45 minutes of interview. And in the end, the people were saying, the community is very young in Portugal. Your hair is saying that, you're already crossing 40. How you will connect with youth? Said, sir, all my life I'm working with the youth. We are not sure, but we will get back to you. It's now already 1.5 years. I'm waiting for at least a regret. Then I applied for Tanzania. I thought these guys will accept me. This is wonderful. This is the same skills they're asking for. I have all these skills, administrative skills, finance skills. I'm working for so many years. First interview, fantastic. Shortlisted for the final interview. The country director interviewed me. You're from Pakistan, yes? After 45 minutes, he realized, said, yes. Oh, Tanzania usually have issues with Pakistani passports. Waiting from 2 months because I got a regret. Now, this continued. The third time, I was in Pakistan, my country. They will accept me. I went to this organization and said that, Karim Meghani, I'm back. I'll be working with you guys. Accept me. And they said, no. The first interview, fantastic. Shortlisted for the final. The leadership, the president of the company is sitting in front of me. Karim, you are working in Madagascar with 2,000 population. Pakistan is a complex society. We are working with beneficiaries over 100,000. We have so much staff. And you are being there in Africa for 10 years in Pakistan. How you will survive? The Karachi, the rain, and this is the electricity cards. How you will change your life in Karachi? I said, I am ready. I'm ready to change. Everything is ready. 2 months, no reply. So, ladies and gentlemen, when I was writing this focus on positive, I was telling myself that this negativity taught me a lesson. Speak to the Toastmaster Club and share my experience with you guys. What should I do now? One of the positive what I learned, I was feeling anxiety. I was feeling bad about myself. What the hell? I'm doing great. I will keep trying. This negativity, I can connect with youth. I'm just taking a youth leadership program for the Toastmasters and going to a school and deliver very soon. I cannot handle 100,000 people. I can handle. If some people don't trust me, it's their problem. It's not my problem. But I can continue, learn, and try. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm keep trying. And you guys are with me because I shared with you today. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kareem. You have always made us smile and always brought humor in your speeches. And I will contact you personally for that. Okay, so our next speaker is Toastmaster Zara Ibrahim, and her pathway is visionary communication. She is doing level 2 project 3. And her evaluator is Toastmaster Rusa. I would now like to invite Toastmaster Rusa to please read out her speech objectives.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster Zara's speech is Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. The purpose of her speech is to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring, and for her to share some aspect of previous experience as a protege. She has to steer clear from her project being a report on the content of the project itself. The speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmasters.
You're muted. Yeah.
Am I audible and visible now?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. If I reflect upon my childhood, I was nurtured and brought up in such a way that at that time, I wasn't aware what mentor is. and how someone can impact my life in such a way. And then when I look back, it just makes me feel that I was blessed. Just being a second grader, I was just 7 years old. And one of my teacher, who was our class teacher, she told us about grief, that how it makes us feel when we lost someone, and how we can, be someone so that we can, because she was staying at her parents and she lost both the parents. And the way she was telling us that how she was brought up and how her parents had made her like so much different in her life. While talking to her parents, and being a second grader, I remember each and everything. Moreover, she talked about, she just take out that wallet and she showed to the class, and is that last memory, or you can say it was kept as a loving memory of her father. And she showed us that how that you people are blessed. You should take care of your parents, should respect them, because when this time gone, you don't have that regret in life. When I still remember each and everything said by that teacher, and her name was Miss Zina Khan. After some time, I came, but more important is because today's theme is about grief. I lost my dadi on 27th August, Saturday. She told us, she was able to convey the message across how selfless can a woman be, and how can, we can create an example that we can be someone behind all odds. And the way she nurtured the kids, because she was widow at the age of 30 when my dad was only 6 years old, my uncle was only 4 years old. So how she brought them up, and moreover, she had that respectable go in that society, and how everyone used to respect her. She used to teach Quran to children at the neighbors. Moreover, if I come, there was a time in my 9th grade when I went through severe anxiety. At that time, I wasn't aware what anxious feels like, and what I was feeling at that moment. And I experienced it the very first time in my examination hall. Although I was, and at that time I was just a 9th grader, and I was taken to a psychologist, and how I was being nurtured, like the way I was guided, it was a professional help. And moreover, and I had that trust that the things I'm telling him or what I'm feeling. So that was something I meditate a lot, and I was able to overcome all those fears. And I think it made me a very strong person. Moreover, if I talk about Toastmasters journey, I was introduced to Toastmasters back in 2020. One of my friends, when I was in college back in 2014, when I was about to graduate, I met a very kind-hearted, or you can say a very nice person, and she was none other than Toastmaster Vania Ahmed Abbas. And I did not had any contact with her. She used to be she was in our council team in college. And after that, we graduated. But I had that, you can say that I used to thought about her. Maybe, she might be on Instagram, on Facebook. But at one fine day, I was searching, and I found out that she had that public page and I was able to connect with her. I used to post about Toastmasters. So one fine day, I introduced myself and I told her, I think, hope you remember me. And this is how I got to know about Toastmasters. And I entered Dow IBM Toastmasters Club, just being a guest, and was able to get the membership there. But that's not the end of story. The message was floated on the WhatsApp group that the tester is required for a contest. At that time, I wasn't even sure what a test speaker is. So I asked DTM Talab bin Ahmed. He was very kind to tell me everything. And he told me that what is and I really just after giving an IEP speech. But after a few days, I was like, am I able to do it? I questioned my own beliefs. Will I be able to perform this task? And I said, sir, I won't be able to make it. He said, you have to, get along with it. And you can do it, and I know you'll do it great. I trust that guidance and the way he told me, it just boosted my confidence. And I was able to deliver that speech in front of, I think, 20 to 25 people in that online meeting. So in that time, I was able to convince myself that nothing is impossible. It's just other people around who motivates you, who guides you. Their sense of accomplishments and achievement can let you, give you that sense of motivation that you can able to achieve anything in any way. So I thank each and every one who played a vital role, an essential role in that Toastmasters journey. And I'm very grateful and thankful. Thank you very much. Over to TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Zara. Your words shown that your speech shown that your words were directly coming from your heart, and it's a very big challenge to put ourselves in a situation to speak directly from our heart. So congratulations, great job. Toastmaster Latif,
yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so it's time to finally introduce our last speaker, and
he's actually the second last.
Second last.
Yes. Toastmaster Rabi is coming.
But the last is always with
Right now, go ahead with Toastmaster Latif.
Oh, okay.
Only one
so
person can be last.
Second last person today is Toastmaster Latif. Toastmaster Latif is doing his pathway team collaboration, and his level is 2 and project 1. Understand your leadership style. So I would like to invite his evaluator, Toastmaster Muhammad Al-Murtaza, to please come and read out his speech objectives.
So it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce TM Latif. As we all know, he is really energetic and enthusiastic Toastmaster. He comes with full forms of energies. Today, he's doing his pathway team collaboration level 2 project 1. Understanding your leadership style. Speech title is batch student. The duration of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Batch student. Over to you, PM Latif. All the best.
Timer is Karachi Toastmasters, right?
Yes, me.
Okay. Honesty is the best policy. All of you agree. I tend to disagree this. And I have full evidence for this. When I was young, I asked my mom, school is boring. I don't want to go to school. She held my hand and put me sit in the bus. In classroom, I told my teacher, I don't like your subject. She put me stand on the chair for the whole period. Nothing went wrong. But when I was working hard and I see my boss sitting and just giving me orders, I told him, sir, do some work also, except giving orders. And he gave me more work. What happened? I said everything which I felt, and it was an honest view. But I end up losing everything. Finally, one fine day, I told my girl, I love you. And you all know this. I lost my freedom. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. When I speak truth, I feel I have lost everything. So there is nothing called honesty is the best policy. In school days, let me remind you, I used to have 3-tier uniform just to get safe from my Sindhi, the provisional language teachers, bashing on my bum. I used to make sure that after he finishes workout on me, I have time to rest and I feel comfortable after it. This is what I feel that teacher was good. And you might be thinking that I was a bad student. Why not? If everything they have given, how can I be a bad student? So, one more example. Whenever I go to work, whatever my management has given, or wherever I have worked in past, I have run and taken good applications, good applause from them. But what made wrong is that if I was younger and it was learned that the sky is purple, then no matter whatever my eyes see, I will always say that the sky is purple. Now, this is what I would like to tell you. These are all teachers which they taught and I accept. Then how can a student be a bad student? There can be teachers who can give a different perspective. If I see blue and you see purple, they have to change their model. They have to change their life to bring others learn. Something which I learned a lot when I grew up, I felt loud noises are never in this world. Because at my home, everything was polite. As I grew up and went to this working world in the reality, everything is loud. Different perspective, different learning. Now, in this case of mine, which I would love to join and which would love to tell you is, no matter life goal it is, I missed out the timer. So what is good teacher about it? The good teacher is all about who shows us the way the student would love to learn. The good teacher is always who think how we can make them learn to deliver in real life theory. Good teachers are always available for you to get ready and be available attack to different world of different scenarios. Now, in my case, if I have been doing good at work, good at all this time, what made me not be successful? Just because all my time, the management, the supervisors, they informed me that I have to work according to some SOPs, according to some set procedures, where I forgot that if they don't increase my growth, I have to evaluate myself. And this is what I learned when I joined Toastmasters. The leadership style which I felt and what I found in myself was, no matter how bad the teacher was or how good the teacher was, I was never a bad student. Only one thing which I felt a confident leader is that before you are a leader, growth is all about your life. Once you become a leader, growth is all about your subordinates, your colleagues, how they grow in their life. I learned a hard way, but I feel this message should be delivered that we never regret, we should not be feeling bad about what kind of students we were. If long life learning lessons are there, if we learn all according to our experiences, time will tell that we have already given a lot of people such much benefit to grow and encourage. I have learned this a hard way, but keep evaluating yourself and be a good leader. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Master Latif, for delivering a wonderful speech. My mindset regarding teacher has always been related to what you just said. So I just thought if I can have you as my mentor other than Toastmaster Imran. So please answer me for that. Our next speaker, and finally the last speaker, is Toastmaster Rabia. Toastmaster Rabia, she is a great speaker and she is a very vivacious lady and has always delivered her speeches with emotions and truth. She will be evaluated by Toastmaster Kareem. So I would now like to invite Toastmaster Kareem to read out her speech objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Today, my target speaker is TM Rabia Zishan. And it seems that, she needs to be professional today. And she will be speaking a lot of a very wonderful professional speech for 18 to 22 minutes. The objective of her speech is to talk about a particular subject. It can be humorous, it can be any kind of information, but in a keynote speech style. So TM Rabia, we are looking forward for a wonderful speech, a long speech from you, and looking forward for wonderful information. Over to you, TM Rabia. Good luck.
Thank you so much. May I know who the timer is? I do not have my glasses today and it will be very hard to. Okay, Karachi Toastmasters. Achha, that's better.
18.
Minimum is 18.
Yes.
Yes.
Best of luck.
I need that. I'm having a lot of stuff today. So excuse my cough is in between. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kareem Meghani, for explaining my project. I have to give a keynote speech today. The theme of today's meeting urged me to talk about a topic I don't usually talk about. It's a very close, it's a story which is very close to my heart. And I do not want to share it with everyone. But today, I take this strong step, you can say, for me to tell you this real life story so that you all may do what I didn't do. And you all may realize that it's better late than never. I got married when I was only 21 years old, and I had to adjust in a totally different culture than my own family.
Sorry,
My-
Toastmaster Fabia, can I interrupt you a bit?
Yes,
Your
yes.
voice is a little too low. Voice is a
Is it
little.
okay if I hold it like this? Is it okay now?
Well, that is up to your evaluator, but anything that you can do to improve your.
So can you
volume.
hear me clearly now? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Clearly now?
yeah.
Okay, then I'll hold it like this because I really need to. I have taken a lot of courage to speak today. So
Sure.
I'll just
And
hold it like this.
apologies for
No,
that
no,
interruption.
that's totally fine. And
Necessary to get your story across. So
yes,
yeah, over to
yes.
you.
Thank you, thank you. So I had to adjust totally in a very totally different culture than my own family. My husband had only two relatives who lived in Karachi. One was his aunt and one was his cousin aunt. So it was like my mother's-in-law sister and my mother's-in-law cousin. Today, I'm going to tell you about Auntie Nosheen's story. She was the youngest of 8 cousins who grew up in a single home. My mother-in-law and her cousins they grew up together in one home, and Auntie Nosheen was the youngest of them all. She lived in Karachi. She was a very petite woman. Her family used to visit us fortnightly. Although she lived in Karachi with her kids, but her husband used to live in Hyderabad. And he used to come after every 15 days, and that day was the day they came to spend with us. He usually brought us fish from Hyderabad so that we could have a nice evening together. During the first 3 years of my marriage, it was like a constant thing that we waited for her to come after every 15 days or after even sometimes every week on the weekends, on Saturdays. In 2007, tragedy struck her family. Her husband died in a very devastating bus accident. He was on the motorbike and it was a head-on collision. He died on the spot, and that was in Hyderabad. If I am not wrong and if I calculate correctly, she was not more than 36 years of age at that time. And she had 4 kids. Her youngest was only 3 years old, and her eldest son was giving, I think, his first O-level examination. It was a chaos in our house because we couldn't understand how to tell her, inform her. Somebody did try to inform her from uncle's office, but she just hanged the phone down and said, "That's a very bad joke. My husband is in Hyderabad." She couldn't hear it. And then the office people tried to contact us. We were the one who had to go to Auntie Nosheen's house. We had to take her to Hyderabad. The dead body came in the ambulance. One of her daughter, when she saw her father, she went into a complete shock and started stuttering after that. That was the start of Auntie Nosheen's extremely hard life. Although everyone in the family were very helpful, but there was something which I couldn't understand. And as I was the young daughter-in-law, the new daughter-in-law from the other culture, I kept quiet. I didn't spoke for her rights. I remembered people commenting on what her children were wearing, or when her son asked for a burger, they used to say, "Why is she doing so much extra expense on her children? Why can't she brought them in a very simple manner?" I couldn't understand it because I was not raised like that. Even though my father was a very well-off person, we never knew it. My mother never let us know that we were well off. It was after my marriage I realized that that's a huge thing in our society, and I'm so grateful, so grateful to my parents for not instilling in us the overconfidence of being financially strong. because that is the worst thing I think a person can have, to be proud of the financial status they are in. It was very hard for me in the starting of my life, married life, to see how people were treated differently based on their financial status. And that is what happened with Auntie Noshi, because she, she hadn't even done her graduation. She had no way to earn. A very few amount of her husband life insurance had come, and my husband invested in some business, and we used to give her monthly expenditure money. But the way I saw the treatment she got from all the people, it was heartbreaking to me. And then I remembered the surah of Quran that we used to do in school. If I'll try to do it in Urdu as well, so that you all know, and then I'll give the translation. यतीमों को धक्के देता है और मिस्कीनों को खाना खिलाने की तरकीब नहीं करता. Surah Maun, which means that the person who pushes the orphans and do not ask other people to feed the poor. And when I was young, I used to feel there would be no one in the entire world who would be so cruel to push the orphans away. Because when I was young, I used to think it was a literal push to push someone with your two hands. But after I saw these orphans of Auntie Nosheen, I realized it was not the physical push that Allah Ta'ala was talking to us about. It was the push we showed by our facial expressions. We showed by the raise of our eyebrows. We showed by not inviting them to parties. We showed by making sure that they were the last to take the food from the table. It was horrific. And to make her feel that way. And I didn't do anything because I felt that if I do it, I would be labeled. That this is what the new daughter-in-law wants to do. She wants to come and change our culture. She wants to come and she's trying to show off by helping someone. And I controlled my urge to help her. I controlled my urge to be nice to her kids. As I grew older, and I hope wiser, I started to be very kind to her kids. And I used to treat them normally. I didn't used to treat them firstly as orphans or someone who had less financial status or someone who did not have a father. And I saw my Auntie Nosheen get thinner and thinner every year. I saw her just worried about her children. She wanted her children to succeed. She did not change their school. She stood on her ground. She said, no, my children, my husband gave them these school. I would not change them to a lower school. She did not change her status. It's very hard for me to tell you right now that she went to the thrift stores on the days market we have, and she made sure that her children wear good clothes so that when they come to our houses, they didn't feel bad. And I respected her for that. I grew very close to Auntie Nosheen, and as I grew older, my children grew older, I realized that it's not fair. And I started to help her, but without telling anyone. And by help, I did not need any financial help, just to make her feel comfortable. I used to visit her home. I used to, whenever we used to go for some outing and we were inviting everyone else, I made sure that I invited her and her family so that they do not feel left behind. But I still feel that we did not do enough. It was 2 years ago when COVID had not finished completely. Her daughter, all her children grew very close to me. Her daughter, who was very close to me, she came and told me, Rabia Baji, I don't think Mama is well. There is something wrong and she's not going to the doctor because she feels that if she goes to the doctor, they'll ask for more tests. And I am unable And she says she does not have the finances for it because she has to give the fees of O levels and A levels and the kids' uniform, and she did not want to spend a penny on her health. So I made sure that she went to a doctor. But I was really busy with my own stuff. I did not pay deep attention to her. And then we heard that she's not well. She came to meet us. Her legs were swollen, and I could understand that leg swollen means that she's going into heart failure slowly, or something with her kidney is not work. And I just told her that you should go to a doctor. I took the appointment. I made sure she went. I asked daughter to take her, but one day her daughter called and said, "Can you please come? She's not well and she's talking some gibberish and nonsense. And can you please come?" And I said, "Okay, I'll go." When I went there, Auntie Nausheen's entire one leg was light dark purplish in color, the color of the German. And it was so huge that we had to cut off her trouser because it could not fit. It was getting, and there was this water coming from her legs, and we could not understand what it was. We took her to National Medical Center where her doctor worked. We waited for an hour on the wheelchair, and she was making no sense at all. And when the doctor saw us, they said, "This is not something I can see. Please take her to the emergency room." We took her to the emergency room. Her sugar was way below the normal level, and she was not breathing properly as well. And they were not admitting her. They said either you admit her to the COVID ward or you can take her home and then do the test from home. At that time, Auntie just refused to get admitted. And sometimes I feel, why didn't I push her harder? It's okay, go to the COVID ward. No, it does not matter. But she did not want to go there. We brought her home, but within 1 hour, her condition got worsened. We took her to Dowding Medical Center. They refused to admit her. We took her to Liaquat Medical Center. They said, no, we did not have space for her, although I could see there were beds available, but they did not want to take a case. She could not breathe. There was blood coming out from her foot. She was in a very, very devastating situation. We took her to another hospital, which was on Nipa, which was made for the COVID. We did not take her. We just kept on taking her from one hospital to another. And in the last, I told my husband, just take her to Aga Khan. I hope they take her. When we went to Aga Khan, they did not even ask us any question why you have come. They just put her on the stretcher and they took her inside for emergency treatment. And they said, we'll call you afterwards for the question. Right now, she needs treatment. She was given pain medications and all the emergency stuff, and we did a detailed history. Unfortunately, she could not survive a day either. And this really, really broke my heart. Because when I went to her house, I could see there were no utensils in the kitchen except the very basic one. She did not have a bed in her room or in the children's room. They did not have any basic necessities of the house. And we could not imagine how that was possible because as far as we were concerned, everyone was helping her financially, but we never took that step to go and meet her at her house and ask her or see at the conditions she was living in. There were many, there were like insects and cockroaches all over her house, and it was very disheartening to see the condition of her house, the condition of the toilets and everything. And that was the time I realized that all my fears of not going to help her, because what will my family say? What will the people say? Say, oh, the new daughter-in-law will go and help and tell us how to take care of our own family members. And that was the time I realized nothing matters except what Allah thinks. And how will Allah forgive me? Because we were the ones who were living close to her. It was really, I'm so sorry. But life goes on. Till date, it's been 2 years, and I still regret not being there for her as much as I wanted to. Her children are now with their aunt in Lahore. They're living a better life, but they do miss Karachi. They miss us. I miss them, but I can never face them. And although they say that you were the best part of our mother's life, that you were there for her when no one else was, but still I feel that we worry so much about what others will say, what what will your husband say, or what will your mother-in-law say, what will your mother say. We worry about people so much that we totally forget about what Allah will think of us. We should keep in mind that if we are helping someone or if we are being kind to someone, and we know that's the right thing to do, because Allah wants us to be kind to orphans, Allah wants us to be kind to people who are suffering, Allah wants us to be kind to our neighbors and to our relatives first and foremost, and then to the people who are suffering. If we keep our path straight, that the utmost goal of our life is to please the Almighty God, then we won't worry about what others are thinking. It will become so secondary. And I sometimes talk to her elder sister, who told me that she had, Auntie Noshin had all praises about me, and I still cry to her that no, I didn't do enough. And she says, Rabia, this must have been a light from Allah Ta'ala to you, because after that, I do not care about anything people say. If I am doing the right thing, if I am making the right decision, and if I think my Allah will be happy with me and okay with me, and that is what He wants me to do, I damn care about what anyone else in the room is thinking, or in the family is thinking, or in the environment is thinking. You all must be thinking why I'm emphasizing on this as much. When I joined Toastmasters and when I had to come to Beach Luxury for the meetings, it was a huge step for me. I'm thankful that my husband has always supported me in any endeavors I take on. But as a housewife and as a mother and as a daughter as well, it's not just about in-laws. Do not take this as one daughter-in-law talking about bad about the in-laws or something. It's about our culture. It's about a community. Even in my family, people sometimes ask me, why is it that you go? Why is it that you go to Toastmaster? Why is it that you go to the TCF and Parkman? Are they paying you? Are you getting something in return? Why do you do Reber all the time? You just did 2 last year. Why do you want to do it and keep doing it again? And now I don't care, because I know that when I'm going to spend the time with the students at Reber, or when I'm here talking to you all and inspiring even one person to do something good in their life, I feel that is what Allah wants me to do. To use my voice, my ability to speak, my ability to inspire everyone. And I'm always open for mentorship if I have the time. I did not give up my responsibilities to pursue the things which I thought were right in life. I take care of my family even now, my children, my in-laws, the groceries at home, what is to be made, cooked today in the home. I do all that. I pay the bills, I go to the bank, I do everything. But I also manage my time for my extracurricular activities, which are mainly focused on how to make the environment better, whether it is by doing volunteer work at TCF, whether it is by coming here at Toastmasters and mentoring others. If one Toastmasters, a newcomer, tells me that I'm glad that I heard your speech, or I get excited, I want to be in a meeting because you are there and I want to hear you, that's enough for me. Because if I'm helping someone and Allah is, and I know that I'm not doing anything wrong, that my Allah will be happy with it, then I don't care what others think. If I'm doing my responsibilities at home, if I'm fulfilling my responsibilities as a daughter, as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter-in-law, as a neighbor, then what I do and how I manage my other free time, it should be totally up to me. I would really like you all to think deeply tonight of the things that you always wanted to do, but you did not do because you thought, oh, what will my father say? Oh, what will my sister say? Oh, what will the uncle say who lives across the street? What is she doing? Something new. Nowadays, when I'm going to the IDP camp, there are so many people who even try to discourage me to do that. Oh, you should take care. Oh, there may be some looters over there. Oh, wear masks. There must be some diseases over there. Don't tell them your house. They might come to your home to loot. Matlab, there are so many people. There's so many thinking, and if you start listening to all the negativity, you will never get anywhere in life. So just make sure that your intentions are pure and what you are doing is for a good is with a good intention, and that the Almighty Allah and your conscience will be okay with it, and then just block the negativity around, because it's better to do it later than never. I regret doing it for Auntie Nosheen, but inshallah, I'm sure that I won't regret anymore, because I'll do what I feel is right. And I surely hope that you all also do what you feel is right. And when you want to do something good, do not get discouraged by the negative comments of the people around you. Keep on going if your conscience is clear. Thank you so much. You are on mute. We cannot hear you.
Please, that was my mistake. Now it should be fixed.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rabia. It is indeed a very challenging task to speak for about 20 minutes and simultaneously to grab the attention of the audience. And you did it brilliantly, and you did a fantastic job. Toastmaster Shakil and DTM Saj didn't even change their posture for even a second. They were so lost. So here comes our first session of prepared speeches to an end, and it is now time to move towards our second session, which is okay. So I would now like to ask timer that are all the speakers qualified? Okay, all the speakers are qualified, and I would now like vote counter to please launch. Okay,
it's already done.
Okay, great job, we can start. Okay, so let's start our second session, which is of table topic session, and to conduct this session and to provide us with challenge, not exactly us, but the table of speakers. We have DTM Talha bin Amir. DTM Talha bin Amir's how charismatic person he is, and he always inspires us when he speaks. I mean, whatever I say to describe him will not be enough, seriously. So please put your hands together for DTM Talha bin Amir.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. And today, of course, our theme is all about grief and sadness and loss, and how we can derive vivacity and beauty out of that dreaded sense. All of us, at some point in time, have lost or will lose someone we hold very dear. And grieving over such a loss. In fact, let me tell you, and we have Toastmaster Asghar, who delivered a very poignant keynote a few weeks ago on this very topic. It is a myth when they say that you can get over losing a loved one. You never do. That's what I've found. It's absolutely impossible. I mean, how can you spend decades of your life with someone, and then when they're no longer there, how can you ever expect to adjust? That's not within human powers to make that adjustment. Instead, what we learn to do is learn to live in this new world, which no longer has our loved ones in it. That's what we do. That's what we call patience, or what we call getting over it. And grief is not only about losing people. Grief is also about some bad decisions. I bet many of us can remember some bad decisions that we made, or some bad decision that someone else made for us. And we are paying the price for that to this day. Grieving something we lost. Grieving an opportunity we lost. Grieving for a time when we said no, when we should have said yes. Our life is all about handling various types of grief. Our lives are defined by grief, in fact. So today, our table topic will address this difficult topic head on. And as our first speaker, I will call our area director, Toastmaster Imran Rana. Because of course, if we have to call him to table topics, otherwise he won't give a good report on our class. So Toastmaster Imran Rana. All of us have lost someone precious in our life. Which loss stands out the most for you and why? Word of the day is vivacious.
Thank you so much, table topic master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As I told you that we are mashallah 9 brothers, and my mother has to take great care of all of them. And it's not easy task to look after every children and give proper time accordingly. But she did extremely well, and mashallah, she is Hayat. She is living with us. But there's one person who is very close to my heart, and she is my eldest sister. To me, she is my mother, because whenever my mother has to visit Punjab, she always took my two younger brothers, Usman and Noman, and I was left alone. And there she was, she took care of me, she took great care of me. A years back, I lost her. She had brain hemorrhage. While I was traveling, when we tried to reach there, we didn't know the conditions, whether she is in her senses or not. But when I reached to the hospital and I saw her, I cried, and I cried a lot. Because she wanted to call me every time. She just shifted to her new house. She always called me and told me that please come to my house and look, such a beautiful house. She made a video, and I saw that video, and it was quite a beautiful house. But that house is useless since she is not there. So I must say that to me, she was like my mother, and I really miss her. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you so much. We recently shifted to a new house, and the person who sold the house to us, he was actually crying. I asked him why. You're charging so much for this pigsty that you're selling us. Of course, I didn't say that to him. I just said it in my heart. And he said that I built this house for my children. yet they never came from Canada to Pakistan to live here. So he actually expected his kids to come to Pakistan from Canada. Talk about dreams, impossible dreams. But I said one thing to him, that you know what, now you're going to your kids, and that's where your home is. It's not in buildings, it's not made of bricks. Home is made of people. So online we have Toastmaster Iftihaj Fatma. Toastmaster Iftihaj, are you there? Are you there? All right, we can come to her later. Toastmaster, her man.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yeah. All right. Is it possible for you to turn on your video? All right.
Please repeat the topic.
Yeah. I'm about to give you the topic. So today it's all about grief and loss. All right. So Toastmaster Ittihaj, is there a person that you've ever encountered? And I'm not talking about famous people, but someone, maybe a teacher, a relative, a friend that you have encountered in your life and you wish they were no longer alive?
Okay.
Word of the
Actually,
day
I
is
don't
Vapesh.
have too much hatred towards. Whenever I think about a person in this way that he must be no longer alive, I try to change my perspective a little. But yes, sometimes I felt there was my teacher because he used to beat us a lot for no reasons. We do our homeworks, we do all the stuff, but if we are laughing and he's angry at some other thing, at some other situation, he will just come and he will say, "You're talking high, you're talking loud. So stand up." And he will bring the stick and he will beat the whole class. This is not the first time. He did it multiple times, and actually I didn't like him. But to that extent that uh, I have multiple clashes with him. But I think so. I don't have too much hatred towards any of my teacher that I think he must not be alive. But yes, there was another lady in my teacher. I wish she could not be my teacher because she was very biased personality. I have only single teacher in my whole journey that was so much biased. No matter how much effort I put to impress her, to have little appreciation from her, but she was always like complaining to my mother. She always tried to make me feel low, and I didn't liked her at all. I still hate the only teacher, and that was she. Uh, and I think so. After that time, I had multiple teachers which are amazing personalities, and I am thankful to Allah Almighty that no matter what are other difficulties I have in my life, I am facing different situations, but He blessed me with amazing teachers, with amazing mentors, and I always pray for them. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Iftihaj. You told us how you cannot hate a person, and then precisely told us the person you hated the most. So that is exactly what this topic was intended to do. You know, it's okay to hate. I mean, we are not superhumans. How much negativity and hatred can we absorb, right? How much injustice can we face if we are not even allowed to hate a little? I mean, we're not doing any actual damage to the person, but sometimes it takes superhuman strength to forgive and forget something. And perhaps it is unfair for us to ask ourselves to do that every time. There was this person, there is this person, sorry, Freudian slip. There is this person who used to bully me in my school and college days. And he continued that for like 7 or 8 years. And his protection was that he was an orphan. Only now I realize that yes, he was an orphan, but did not give him a license to be a jerk to everyone. I mean, I did not kill his father. So, and you find people who suffer all sorts of losses, and yet they remain humane to other people. Loss and grief should bring humility rather than hatred towards each and everything and all what's good. So even today, I don't feel obliged to forgive that person because that person has ruined my life. And now he's not suffering at all. He's living abroad in a palace. So all the more reason to resent. Of course, I don't wish anything bad for him, but I'm sorry, if he's expecting forgiveness from me, he's not getting it from me. Next, we have, okay, I'll call Toastmaster Asghar. Toastmaster Asghar, are you there? All right. So, Toastmaster Asghar, sir, your topic is a tough one. Given a choice, what would you prefer? Dying first or seeing your parents die?
Thank you very much, DTM Tala, for this rather tough topic. Frankly speaking, I have never expected you to convey me a topic so that I can easily respond and win the table topic session. I mean, it has never occurred even a single time in my life that I will be the winner. And thanks to the tough topics conveyed by DTM Tala bin Hamid. Coming to the topic, we always confront, vivacious people around us. They are leaving us. They are our neighbor. They are inside our home. They are outside the home. And sometimes there are the people that you need them more than you. This, I think, include our parents and our children. Ask every father, ask every mother, ask every son. He or she wants himself or herself to be not around when her or his loved one is not with him or her. Be it a child, your daughter, your son, your mom, or any other relationship. Unfortunately, I lost my father a few years ago. I grieved over his death for some 4 years every day. And I still can recall whenever I feel a difficulty in my life, and I know fully well that had my father been around, he would have not done anything to facilitate me. But for some very strange, unique reason, I demand him to be around me. And the same goes to my mom. She is still with me, not right now, but she is around me, and we meet every 10 to 20 days. And believe me, she is always shouting on me more than my mother-in-law. But I want my mom, my mother, not my mother-in-law. I want my mother around me until I am on the surface of earth. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you so much, Master. Yes, I always give you difficult topics, and yes, you always knock it out of the park, just like you did right now. Thank you for that. Next, I'd like to call Toastmaster Rishikesh. And yes, you're there. So, Toastmaster Rishikesh, your topic is, can we find joy in grief? Word of the day is vivacious. Can we find joy in grief?
Thank you, table topic master, DTM Talla. The grief and the happiness are the two parts of the coin. When we are happy, we realize that it's difficult to hold on to that happiness. It's about to end in certain stipulated period of time. When we think about our grief, we realize that though we are sad, though we are unhappy, but there is a positive side to that grief as well. Recently, my father passed away and he was staying away from my home. But during his last moment, I called him and we decided together, we family decided that we should bring him here. I was persuading him to stay with me, but he was bit adamant and he was reluctant to join us, our family. But at the last, we forcefully arranged the ambulance and he came with us. And we are grieved, we are sad that we lost him, but we are happy that he spent his last moment with us. He spent his last moment with his my son. At last, he was with his family, not alone. So there is in the grief, there is a part of happiness as well. We have to find that happiness, and at least we can be satisfied. Though that grief is difficult to overcome, but we have done that job. We can be satisfied and hold on to that happiness or maybe the memories of our grieved person. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rishikesh. And yes, that was beautiful. Of course, grief is, I believe, something that we cannot really conquer, but we can find joy in the fact that we were there with our loved ones when they passed away, or rather, they were with us. And secondly, they are in a much better place right now. So all their problems and worries have gone away. Next, I'll call Toastmaster Herman. Toastmaster Herman, are you ready?
Yes, please. Yes.
All right. People are not the only thing that we grieve for. We also grieve for the golden times in our lives, which is called nostalgia, right? So
exactly,
what is it that you have lost in your life, and not a person, but something or some place or some object that you've lost in your life that you still miss today and you wish it was there? Word of the day is vivacious.
Okay, just to tell you that I'm not a person who grieve or I'm not a nostalgic person, but I have one vivacious view of the future, and still I am in search of that what can we build in the future. So if you ask me that what memories or what are the things or memories which I remember vivaciously, so there are none. Frankly, the second thing is which I would like to tell you, I can only recall one a New Year's night which I actually spent with my family in Dubai, and we were on a cruise trip, and the boat was the Burj Khalifa, and the on the other hand, it was in between the beautiful fountain display. So I remember that memory, because at that day I decided that the year coming ahead will be the best year of my life, and believe you me, I made that happen for me. So I believe that the memories should be only for your resolutions, for your good targets and goals which you decide to have in the future. Otherwise, the memories which get you down, these are not my thing, and I believe that anyone who is future oriented and a goal getter must get rid of those kind of memories as soon as possible. Thanks a lot. That's it.
That was interesting.
Thank you.
And that was, I think, a very fresh take on the whole situation. Yes, I think we should all be future facing. I wish there was a situation possible which they showed. I don't know if you've seen the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where they clean out the slate and create a new person. But until that happens, maybe, yeah, until that happens, maybe some of us, or at least all of us, some of the time, will fall victim to nostalgia, but it is up to us.
I just
Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to add. I just wanted to add one thing that you guys really, give me a lot of paint by all these memories.
All right. You're muted, Toastmaster event.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that all those speeches were so heartfelt and very painful. So please, just after this, I request you all to just forget all these things and move ahead.
All right. Thank you so much. Again, it depends upon our respective personal capacities to do so.
Just for the sake of positivity. True.
Yeah. So our next speaker will be, okay, I'll invite Toastmaster Shakil. Yes, Shakil. There's only one Shakil. All right. Speak on the stage. Yeah. So, Toastmaster Shakil. We have all seen a transformation in our lives over our lifetime where our childhood and teenagers look nothing like what they do right now, right? We've lost so many old things that we used to use. For example, cassette tapes, records, floppy disks. So what is it that you miss the most amongst those things or gadgets? And you grieve for it.
Yeah, thank you, Dada. Actually, I missed so many things because you can say I'm of that time. I think which was said by ages or before 1980s was my childhood, and I was used to of reading books, story books. I don't know so many people knows about Ishtaq Ahmed, Ibn Safi like this. So, but nowadays I'm missing all these things. Nobody's reading storybooks and different magazines. And similarly, you're right that in my early ages there were cassette players, there was no CD, and I also saw, and we were used to watching Doordarshan from putting the plates on antennas, and then one brother said, "Okay, set that antenna." So there were a lot of things which we missed, not only missed, but the energy and the feelings of happiness which the children's nowadays children are missing. Nowadays, my daughters and I saw my niece and my nephews always using mobile, and a lot of time they are wasting in their mobiles. I don't know. There are so many things for learning, and they are much sharper than as we were. So things are changed, and in last 20 to 30 years, there was a frequent change. So, and we are adjusting with these changes. So there are so many things which are good and which are bad, but I think I have missed a lot the things I was used to in my childhood. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now this will be our last speaker. Toastmaster Mariam Aftab, are you there?
Yes, I am.
So, Toastmaster Mariam, I want you to cast your mind back over your life and tell us about something that you're glad no longer exists. Not a person, but some practice, something, some inconvenience that used to be there, but no longer exists. Word of the day is vivacious.
Well, we all have our own lives, difficulties, phases, ways, burdens, memories. We all have our own. The difficulties and the memories also. Yes, there might be something that I cannot recall right now that I wish could not exist or is not existing right now. But yes, one thing for sure is that if I do not remember it, means it is gone. My life, obviously, we all have our own difficulties. We have gone through all that, and we are here right now. We each individual have our own story. If we started writing down, if we are starting telling them, everyone has their own difficulties, and which is the best thing because we have come out of it, and so do I. Trust me, I don't remember that, and that's the good thing. Because if I do not remember that, means that I have come out of it. I have fought it out, and I've sorted out of my life. And this is what I want to tell you all. No matter how hard the phase was, do not forgive, but yes, do forget all those things and remember those points in your mind that have given you enough strength to move forward, that have helped you out throughout the tough times and learned and helped you in learning a new lesson. Because whatever you are right now is because of those memories, those tough times, those hardships. Trust me, if those hardships would not be there in my life, I won't be good enough to say anything, to stand right now, to join you guys, to speak up my mind, to speak my heart out. So I'm glad whatever had happened, but I'm happy that no grudges, not at all. I don't remember anything bad. But yes, I do remember the points that have helped me a lot. And today what I am is because of those tough times, those memories. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mariam. We also have a table topic from Toastmaster Diana. I do miss my friend for the most long time in my life, in my whole world at the camp. Every year as best friend has fun with fun at campfire to eat. So beautiful. It is a tragedy to lose a close friend, and that can often be one of the most devastating things. So thank you so much, everyone. And the takeaway from this table topics is that some things are best left dead, and some of those things are bad memories and incidents in the past, but also we can use the memory of our loved ones constructively and to bring joy to our life and to look forward with hope. So with that, I asked the timer whether all the speakers qualified, and
Yes, everyone is qualified.
everyone has qualified today. Congratulations. And apologies to those who couldn't participate in the table topic. There are so many guests today, but we have already overshot. Sorry, I have already overshot the time. So apologies to everyone. And handing over the charge back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mudam.
Thank you so much, DTM Dala, for brilliantly conducting this table topic session. It's time to finally move on to our third and final session. It's about the evaluation. This session is most important session of the Toastmasters meeting, because in this session, constructive feedback is given to the speakers, prepared speakers, and for the overall meeting conduct. So that speakers can have their speeches evaluated and improve their mistakes or lackings and emerge as a better speaker. So to conduct this session, we have our table topic evaluator, and he is general evaluator, and he is none other than Toastmaster Kareem.
I'm still the general evaluator.
Yes.
I thought I will be just evaluating one person. Sorry.
Yes, you are, I think.
Sorry, because I joined late, so I thought that it will be switched. So thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day, for putting me on the spot on general evaluation. Let me go through the. So today we had evaluation, as you all know, that it is a breakfast for Toastmasters, but it is like a supper for all of us tonight. And let's listen to some beautiful feedback from our beautiful evaluators. So let me request the first DTM Tala bin Hamid, you were being evaluated by?
By Mr. Toastmaster
Imran
Rana.
So I'll request the area director to come and do the evaluation for DTM, sir.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for a Toastmaster and guest. When I seen the picture, there were so many DTMs, and the speech title was The Fast Track of Glory, and I wasn't there. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, today DTM Talha delivered an inspiring speech about how he inspired others to complete their DTM project. Along with that he also concentrated on his progress as well and completed DTM for the 5 times. You started with a question and some amazing statements that engross us in your speech, and you instantly grabbed the audience attention. Then you told us the difference between the mentoring and the coaching with brief definition and explanation. Plus, after that, you told us about mentoring. Throughout your speech, you uses a crisp humor that was quite interesting. Plus, you told us about how you inspired the other DTMs to complete their projects through the personal story. And personal stories is always engaging and quite interesting. Okay, so the content was quite good and it was in a chronological order, but I felt that due to shortage of time, you couldn't give proper time to your content. About the body language, you use the stage quite well. You cautiously use the stage since you wanted to be in the frame for the virtual audience. Your hand gestures were perfectly aligned with the speech, especially the open gestures, and that shows the confidence level. But the vocal variety, it was low. There were some aspects where you could have used some high notes to emphasize more, or that would create a good impact on your on your speech. Plus, since the speech was not what I would say that as you were short of time, so the ending was quite abruptly ended. Although the project was successfully completed, we loved your speech, especially the vocabulary you brought in and some good sentences that really grabbed our attention. Just these few points you could do well in future. Overall, it was an amazing project, and I would congratulate you on completing this project.
Thank you, Area Director. I think that one of the things that you mentioned, that your photograph was not there. Even my photograph was not there. In 2 years, I should become DTM. But thank you very much for that wonderful work, DTM Tala. So next is for, I think that TM Ramzan Printwala delivered his speech, yes?
Yes.
And TM Heba did the evaluation? Yeah.
Yes.
May I request TM Heba to do the evaluation?
So sorry, can you, yeah.
Okay, CM Ramzan Printwala, you had what I liked about your speech was that you spoke about environmental concern, which is quite a debatable topic since the past few years. During the time you spoke, you had good clarity, and everyone could hear what you were speaking about. You had good eye contact, and I found you constantly looking at the camera. And you had good, there was audience awareness, and the audience were quite aware about what you were speaking. There was a good level of comfort, and I could detect no signs of any signs of nervousness or hesitation. And the specific and general purpose of this speech was also quite clear. However, there were some areas of improvement. Firstly, you could have improved upon your vocal variety, and you could have introduced it into your speech. And secondly, there should have been more hand and body gestures in your speech in order to hand and body gestures in your speech. So you could have made your body a bit more flexible during the time you spoke. And overall, it was a pretty good effort. And with slight improvements, you could have made it better. Better luck in your next speech.
Thank you, TM Heba. Very accurate. Okay, so the next, I think it's my speech. It was being evaluated by DTM Saad.
Yep.
Fruits of DTM Tala.
He's also the area director.
Yeah.
Okay, another area directors.
Yes.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Karim Meghani. And I would actually once again address my target speaker, which is Toastmaster Karim Meghani. Here, there, everywhere, all around the world, from Africa, Uganda, Pakistan. You just don't know how to actually stay in one place. The purpose of your speech was to actually define a an occurrence and how you actually reacted to that. To that feedback or comments, and trust me, from the very start, right to the end, the purpose was met expertly. Your hand movement was on point. Your expression and your voice ups and down were outstanding, and you had that element of ooh, what's next? Ooh, what's next? You just kept it not for too long and not for too short. Now for some minor nitpicks, your angle of the camera was a bit like this. So you weren't actually visible from here. It was like this. So that might be worked upon, and your ending was not very much smooth. So just work on these, but overall a wonderful speech. Back to you.
Thank you, Area Director again, DTM. So our next speech was TM Latif Mansoor Ali, I think. And he was being evaluated by TM Mufaddal Murtaza. May I request you to give your feedback, or somebody else did his evaluation? Yes, he is.
Okay, so it's my pleasure to evaluate TM Latif. What a wonderful speech. The title was Bad Student. Initially, I was just wondering what is bad student, what he would be talking about. So this was the first thing where he grabbed our attention. The second thing where he grabbed our attention was he started his speech with the famous phrase where he said, honesty is the best policy. And then just after stating this statement, he said, he do not believe in this statement. So we were all amazed at what he is about to come with and what he is about to speak. He said he will be giving some evidence for all of his explanation of not accepting this statement. Then he started to give the evidence that he is not accepting this statement since childhood for the reason that the way her mother pushed him to the school, despite he didn't want to go to the school. Then when he expressed his feeling to the teacher, he was punished. Later on, his boss also gave him a lot of work when he was fair to his words. And then at the end, he lost his freedom when he was expressing
his love to the girl. And then after that, he connected all these scenarios with the importance of the teachers, that how teachers are important in our lives, how they impact the brought up of the children, and how they can change themselves for positive improvements and for positivity in the children, so that they can be good leaders. And then he switched very organically to his journey with the Toastmasters and his improvement in the leadership skills. He came up with really good statements at the end from the heart, that he said that I've learned it with a very hard way, but you can keep trying to be a good leader. Your video was not here. We saw you for a very short period of time, but I must say that your voice was very crispy. We felt you were very confident, and we understand you told me that you were attempting this speech from the office, so we understand that there was a video problem. I guess if the video was there, it would have added more value to the speech.
It was actually there, but the connection with your laptop.
My laptop was then
due to it being in the browser.
Then I'll go again and I'll see your video in the YouTube live streaming. I apologize for that. So I believe everything was perfect. All the best for your future projects.
Thank you, sir. And I think TM Latif's speech, I can just make a comment that, the expression he was doing, that was amazing. He always connect us with his expressions for me. So the next speaker was TM Zara Ibrahim, and she was evaluated by TM Orusa Kawal.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Okay, so Toastmaster Zara is here. Toastmaster Zara, she gave her speech on Toastmasters mentoring. And she told us about her teacher. She told us about how her dadi affected her. Then she added her story about her mental health and how it improved. Then she talked about Toastmasters itself and how it improved her confidence and her motivation. What I loved, Toastmaster Zara, about your speech was that you used completely personal stories to get your message through, whether it was motivation, whether it was confidence, whether it was mental health. Every story you brought in, first thing, they were personal stories. Second, they talked about very important things in life that affect everyone. So you gave us an insight into how you were, who you are, and also brought to the surface very important things. Secondly, your speech had a proper chronology. You started from your youth, then your adult life, and then your time in Toastmasters. So that was a proper way of writing the speech. What could have been improved about your speech? I felt that the number of stories that you told us, you went through them quickly. You first told us about your teacher, then you transitioned into your story about your dadi, then your own, then about Toastmasters. There were 4 stories that you told us. Instead of that, if you could have kept it to 2 or 3 and told us in more detail about those stories, then you could have added more material and added more depth to those stories. Secondly, I missed voice modulation in your story. You were speaking in monotone, and it looked like it was a single tone that was there. Instead, if you would have added some high notes and some low notes to your speech, that would have really added more animation to your story. What else I saw was that your starting and ending was a little low toned. Maybe you could have added a powerful starting and a punchline for ending. So instead of, for example, if instead of starting in a very slow tone about your starting, you could have said, she took out her wallet and showed it to the class, and to this day, I remember it. And then you could have added your own story. And the ending could have been something like, I found my mentor in many roles. Now it is your turn to found yours. So that would have, completed your story. About your hand gestures, that was right in front of you. I could see your hands, so they were either like this or, could have just steepled them. That would have been fine. So those are the few improvement points. I loved your speech. It was nice. I learned more about Toastmasters, Zahra, and best of luck for your next speech.
Thank you, Marusa. That was a wonderful evaluation, by the way. And I think that Zahra Ibrahim, we really connected with your speech. And I want you to stand up and deliver now. This is my request. So the next speech, it was the keynote speech. I think it's the final speech. TM Rabia Zishan and I was the evaluator. TM Rabia Zishan, I told you last time in your speech, you are coming with a particular mindset when you are delivering your speech, and you're too sad, not, you brought a topic which makes us also cry almost. I remember my auntie also, and people in my life also gone through these hard tragedies, and how they taught us that how much time we spend it with them. But this was the purpose of a keynote. That's my question was, when I was looking at the objectives, being professional and delivering a particular subject, either, I think that subject, you should choose it for the keynote. You can say purpose of life. Everybody's searching a purpose of life when you are talking about a particular issue in your family, and then you can bring your story in it. Today, again, I'm feeling that Appa Rabia was telling me a story and I was listening and probably crying with her. I didn't feel that was a keynote speech, but I really engaged with your speech. And it needs so much courage to be so honest, to bring all these, emotions in that speech, and to talk to people in front of you and telling us that, how you gone through. That was such a brilliant reflection. So it's a brilliant reflection, and it can be converted into a wonderful keynote if you added some ingredients of keynotes. Some ingredients of keynote, that maybe the introduction can have that purpose, or in the middle, Noshin Auntie's story, and then in the end, and the summary was good. I like your summary. In the end, your conclusion was really connecting us, that how we can learn from your story, how we can go through what action objectives we can take it from your story. But trust me, it was a wonderful story, so much of courage. We are with you, we learn a lot from you, and we wish you good luck for your future projects. And I wish that you're learning from it, but take it happily also. It's okay, it's happened, but now we have to, maybe I can help someone in Rebel program who is going through this kind of situation, or in the TCF program is somebody is going through this kind of situation. So take a happy message. I'm a happy go person, so my evaluation will be, let's bring some smile also to people. So over to myself, the general evaluator. So that's the evaluation for the prepared speeches. And then, let's move on to the evaluation for individual role holders. Let me ask TM Shaman.
Table topics. Table topics evaluation.
Table topic? Oh, okay. In my club, we are not doing table topic evaluation. So let me ask the table topic evaluator, whoever it is, if you can give your evaluation, please.
Now you have to explain which club is yours.
No, I will talk to them.
No, Karachi Toastmasters is your home club, buddy.
No, it's okay. TM Ramzan Printwala, please tell us your evaluation.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim Training.
wonderful speeches. It's very competitive and it was very difficult to take points out and to share some numbers of the speeches. So starting off with the first. So, sorry. So starting off with first, TM Imran, very relatable and powerful speech. And there's no doubt about sisters are a great blessing of God. And you just, I believe you spoke your heart out. And we couldn't stop our tears. And I feel sorry for your loss. And I pray may Allah grant your sister Jannah. Amen. And then we had TM Ittihad Fatima. Again, a very thoughtful speech. So nice of you having a very positive mindset. And it's very difficult to bear some people who you hate and then having a positive mindset. And you were very much controlled throughout the speech and really great ending as well. You completed over the time. And then it was TM Asghar, another amazing speech, and then there's zero doubt about that. And we are no. And then TM Hari, sorry, TM Hari's case. So no doubt, amazing speech. You shared loss of your loved one, and you not only shared the loss, but you reminded us how to overcome that and how can we pass, how can we overcome our loss as well. So that was really thoughtful. And then PM Herman, again, very different take and very difficult take. It was very important to, it's always very important to overcome loss and focus on future is the best way to do it. And you made us realize this thing. PM Diana, again, wonderful speech and wonderful writer. And we always like reflect back good times spent with our loved ones, and you reminded us of that. PM Mariam, very good controlled speech, and it was very it's always very difficult to move on. And you shared how important it is to move on from the past and move on from the bad times. And then there was last speech, like second last speech was by PM Shakil, very thoughtful, and there's no doubt about kids now. There's no doubt that kids nowadays are very much involved in these tech devices, and we all are in the same room at times, but we're not connected. We are connected to all rest of the world, but we're not connected with each other. And this, I also missed my good, great old days. This reminded me of my camping trips as well, where we don't take phones along and we enjoy the nature and we enjoy each other's company. So there's no doubt about that. These technological devices have, although they are a source of connection, but again, we are not connected with our loved ones as well. So that's pretty much it. Again, very amazing speeches and very great hosting by DTM Fella as well. I really enjoyed that as well.
I hope it's done. Okay. Thank you, TM Ramzan Petwala, for a wonderful summary of table topics. Let's start the roll holders, and TM Shamam is looking to me really seriously. So let me ask her to give her grammarian report first.
Thank you so much. It was the theme of the day, the grief, but we forgot to that it's perseverance of love as well. So anyways, I'm not serious. I'm just waiting for my turn. It's already 9:30, around 9:30. So, okay. So my grammarian role was pretty learning time for me. I got to hear some very extremely impressive phrases such as can be someone beyond all the odds by Zara. Taking Perspective by Toastmaster Latif, and then Learned a Lesson Hard Way by Toastmaster Latif again. And then there was something Life Goes On by someone, I forgot to note their name. Don't Be Nostalgic or Grief is Struck by Toastmaster Herman. And then Do Not Forgive But Forget by Toastmaster Mariam. About not so good usage of languages, I noted at couple of places, the past tense of verb was required. For example, for take, it could have been took. For try, it had to be tried, because the context was in past tense. Then I heard the use of moreover. Moreover, the use of moreover is to support the previous statement. It's never used as a transition. So we should make it a note not to use moreover when we are transitioning. Then I heard two verbs together, like put me, sit. When we are using two verbs together, the other one has to be infinitive. For example, put me to sit or put me to stand. That was one thing. I also noted one incomplete sentence. Do not tell them the house. It could be like a whole sentence. Do not tell them the house address. Could have made better. Since I was the grammarian, so I was nitpicking everything. Now, should I also move on to the word of the day count?
Yes,
okay.
please.
Okay, so I'm so glad most of the people used it. Toastmaster Diana online tried to use it so many times. This shows that she was actually trying to grasp the essence of the theme and word of the day, but all she needs to do is to be more appropriate while using the word. Then we had Toastmaster Asgar using the word of the day once, Toastmaster DTM Talha using it once, Toastmaster Herman using it twice, both the forms, the verb and the adverb. Now, I would also like to pinpoint two names who were like, they were like by seconds, they missed using the word of the day. And it was like Toastmaster Mufaddal when he used energetic and enthusiastic. I was just praying, oh, please use word of the day. It's equal to vivacious. But he used the meaning, so I counted as word of the day from him as well. Then Toastmaster Rabia could use vivacious while she was explaining her auntie's, Auntie Nosheen's character. So, and I found it vivacious. She missed it. So this time I'm just also trying to see that where people are missing using this word of the day. But overall, I'm so excited that people used it, and DTM Talha made it a point to keep reminding it, and thank him for that. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, TM Shamam. And I feel that, my English teacher is in front of me. So thank you. So the R counter, TM Mufaddal Murtaza. Sir, if you can give your report also.
So I'm the R counter for the day. I'll start with TM Muzammils. Without wasting some time, I'll be very brief. So 2 so, 4 and 1 I mean. Shamam Khan, 3 hours, 2 so's. Ramzan, Printwala, 3 hours, 2 so's. And 5 and TM Imran, 3 hours. DTM Talha, I relaxed. TM Kareem, 2 so's. TM Zara Ibrahim, 3 hours, 1 so. TM Latif, nothing obvious. TM Rabia, same, nothing obvious. TM Shakil, 5 hours. TM Mariam, TM Ibtihaj, TM Asgar, and all the table topic speakers, they were really good, and I didn't find anything obvious. TM Urusa, 3 hours and 1 no, and TM Mufaddal, I said maybe 5 hours, and I noticed I said and then after the speech I noted and 2 hours and 1 so maybe after that, and I said many hours right now as well. So that's all from my side. Over to you, General Elizabeth.
It's always good to be self-reflective. Wonderful. So next is our timer, sir, DTM, the district directors. If you can give your report also, or it is already done.
So, actually, the timer is written as someone, was taken up by someone else and actually performed by a third person. So I'm just reporting their work. So, all right. So all the speakers and all the table topics and all evaluators were within time. So that has to be a record given how many they were. So that was absolutely fantastic.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very
No, I have to report. I promise I'll quickly go through. Toastmaster Ramzan, 5 minutes. Myself, 7 minutes, 24 seconds. Toastmaster Kareem, 7 minutes and 30 seconds exact. Toastmaster Zara, 7:20. Toastmaster Latif, 7:12. Toastmaster Rabia, 21:50. And I must say, she concluded really well within time. Then the speech evaluators. What's this first? All right. Toastmaster Imran, 2:30. Toastmaster Hiba, 1:30. Toastmaster Sakshwed, 3:28. And Toastmaster Mufaddil, 2:58. Toastmaster Utsa Kaval, shockingly, 3 minutes and 6 seconds. I mean, seriously. That has to have exceeded all your evaluations so far combined. So good to see. Toastmaster Kareem, 3 minutes. And Toastmaster Ramzan was not timed, but I have a strong feeling. 3:50. 3:50. So you met the brief fantastically well. I must highlight that you did it in such a short amount of time. And then table topics. Toastmaster Imran Rana, 2:19. Toastmaster Ittihad, 2:12. Toastmaster Asghar, 2:30. Toastmaster Rishikesh, 1:52. Toastmaster Herman, 1:48. Toastmaster Mariam Aftab, 1:59. And Toastmaster Shakil, 2:20. So fantastic job, everyone. And over to you, General Wellness.
Fantastic, sir. Yourself also. So many numbers. Next, I would just want to have TM Heba Rais Khan. If let's see that you know how good listener she is and how good listener we are.
Okay, everyone, you all know what the listener does. So, who spoke chaos in the house?
Toastmaster Ramzan.
No. No. Yes. School is boring.
Everyone.
Yes. No, not everyone.
In their heart.
She bought clothes from a thrift store.
Rabia. Toastmaster Rabia.
How charismatic he is.
Toastmaster Muzammil.
Yes.
Yeah, for some funny reason, remember that. Look at that face.
Adamant. Bit adamant.
Bit adamant.
No.
Zara Ibrahim. No. Zara Ibrahim. Asghar.
No. Yes, Ali. Did not give him a license to be did not give him a license to be a jerk to everyone. Yes.
Only he can say.
Which is called nostalgia.
TDM Tala.
Yes. You had that element of oomph.
That was Sajid.
Yes. Loud noises are never at home.
Latif.
Yes. He sprang into action.
It was Shaman.
No. No. PTM Tanha.
Oh God.
When did I?
Was it? It was heartbreaking for me.
Toastmaster Rabia.
Yes, yes. If lifelong lessons are there, yes. Different perspective, different learning. Yes.
TDM Talha.
What's so enamored with us? Yes. There might be some looters over there.
Toastmaster Rabia.
TDM Rabia.
Sorry?
Rabia.
Toastmaster Rabia.
Home is made of people, not bricks.
Talha.
Now some element for me to nitpick. No. No.
Toastmaster Kareem?
No.
Shema,
No. Speaking of such,
Yes.
I was. And one last thing, at this pace.
Sorry?
At this pace.
At this stage. At this stage.
Yes. That's
Thank you, TM Hiba. I feel always when you are a listener, you are writing all the speeches. So many listening words. Wow, that's fantastic. In the end, my general feedback of the meeting today, I think the meeting went really well. There was the theme, personally, when I saw the poster, didn't like it. I don't like meetings which is it's the title grief, it's something which we need to, or maybe it can be changed in a way that, as TM Shamam was saying, that love inside the grief, maybe something more innovative. If we have that kind of theme, when we are remembering some great souls, we had great pictures in the poster. So that personally, I think that, maybe the title can be different. It's in my general opinion. And I think that, we all did justice. We have so many sad stories today, and we have so many lovable characters also came inside, and everybody did their job. Table topics, generally, the topics were again really negative, very negative. I with all due respect, when we have too many negative subjects, even I have to focus on positives. So that's my theme today. I was reading about this stuff. I think Toastmaster is a happy go place also, where we can focus on positives and learn, and let's move on. So overall, this everything went really well. For role players, one feedback, a self-reflection for myself. I just saw in the agenda that I was a general evaluator, but that was something where we have little mismanagement, that we don't take roles on time, and then eventually when the agenda comes, sometimes we don't know what role we are playing. So I think that this we all need to work on. We all members need to work on that. At least once day ahead, the agenda should be finalized, so we all can focus what we are doing it. Otherwise, it's overall wonderful meeting. It's a great evening. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Kareem. I would say boredom and Toastmaster Kareem cannot coexist. Whenever he speaks, boredom disappears. Okay, to the notes, the winners. No,
No, vote count.
vote count together.
You will hand over to the president and then.
Ask for the big four.
Big
meeting,
four, yeah.
Confusion and.
Okay. I would request board counter to please launch a poll for big four.
You're too late. He's already done that.
I was not in the phones.
Yeah.
Okay, so as our theme today was about grief, so I would conclude by saying that it's okay to be sad, it's okay to be crestfallen, because it's in human nature. We, as Vidyam Dala said, we are not superhumans. And I would say it is normal to be sad. I mean, suppose that something devastating or something very, very negative happens to you and you are not sad. People would say, how? I mean, don't you have heart? I mean, you are so heartless. And when we are sad, people call us that we are being ungrateful. So it is the hypocrisy, I would say, at the same time, because I completely disagree that it does not show ingratitude when we are sad, because it's part of human nature. Sorry, Toastmaster Kareem. Okay, so I would end by saying that DTM Talha brilliantly handled this theme, because it was, to be honest, it was very serious. Sorry, Toastmaster Latif, I'm being honest here. It was very serious, but DTM Talha, the way he handled this theme, he brought humor in the table topic session very, very brilliantly. I learned a lot that if the theme sometimes is serious, then you can bring in some humor with preparation. So with this, I would now hand over the charge to our president.
Okay, that was quite an interesting meeting. And do we have any guests online?
Yes, we have Toastmaster Herman.
Can we have a comment?
Can you, yeah. Toastmaster Herman, your comments
Yes.
about the, yeah.
I really enjoyed it a lot. It was a little bit different theme, grief. It's it's something which we try to cope up every now and then. But really, the points made here were worth remembering because we can quote it somewhere, and it's a great use of verbatims and a great use of language. So yes, it really helped me increase my vocabulary and some sentence making skills. So great to have this session.
And any other guests?
No other guests are online. Yes.
So are the boards ready?
Yes, they are.
Thank you very much, Ms. President. So, fellow Toastmasters, yes, the moment we've all been waiting for since about when the meeting started, and now the suspense is about to break. The best prepared speaker after a very tough race goes to Toastmaster Kareem Meghani. And the best table topic speaker goes to the person who does not speak in the table topics, but he won, Toastmaster Asghar Ramadan. And the best prepared speech evaluator, either the people did not get the link, or what these votes for like ups and down, constantly changing. But the best prepared speech evaluator goes to a person who broke all of her past records. Toastmaster Rusa Kaval.
Wow.
And the best facilitator award, thankfully, apologies, but thankfully it's not, it's absolutely, I'm not the listener, but it goes to Toastmaster Shaman's heart. And the best big four award goes to the person who was well prepared according to the theme. It goes to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster.
Do we have any announcements? And give the-
No, yeah, Toastmaster Latif, what about the contest that we are planning? That is the only potential announcement. If you're not, all right, we got your answers. So if we're not having that, then perhaps we'll have an academy meeting this Saturday. It's due, right? Yeah, we'll have an academy meeting this Saturday. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
And with that, I declare the meeting adjourned.
Oh, but there's one announcement, and that's a Critics' Choice Award. The results have been compiled, and all right, the third place goes to Toastmaster Rabia. Congratulations. Second place goes to Toastmaster Latif from Suwali. And first place goes to me. No, it does. It does not. It goes to Toastmaster Kareem Begani. The critical consensus and the popular choice agree once again, and that testifies to the quality of Kareem's speech. Congratulations. Over to you, Madam.
Okay, and with that, I declare the meeting adjourned.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for complaining about the theme and yet voting for the TMOD. So thank you so much and see you all next week, inshallah.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.